Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Kimman. Albert, getting to the end of the year, softball, baseball, track, pretty much coming to an end, but we have some news here, and obviously, as always, the local area didn't disappoint.
Nope, and we always say on the show, if you're playing now, you've had a heck of a year.
Yes, sir.
And that's South Range. South Range wins in the finals against Fairview. Powerful Fairview, winning 27 straight. And they found out that the real deal that Fairview was it. Fairview 10, South Range nothing. And what's going to happen, George, the girls are going to remember that last game. And we are here to tell you as a coach, who both have lost last games. Think about the journey. Think about the what you put into it, all the friendships, all the tough times and great times you had. George, that's the idea of team sports.
Yeah. No, and in these, especially in the softball, everybody has a pitcher that can basically shut you out. You get behind 2-0 early, that hill gets steeper.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that on the rest of our show today. Softball hitting big time on TV, ESPN, it's all over the place for you girls that are playing. A great sport to get a scholarship, a great sport to become really good. And if you want to take that opportunity, become a pitcher. If you become a great pitcher, they're out there looking for you, or become a power hitter, and they'll put you at first base and they'll bat you fourth. But South Range, what a year you had. Sometimes the other team's just better. I've said it on the show before. I'd rather lose this way than 2-1 on 2 errors in the 7th inning. That will haunt you the rest of your life. You just know you weren't as good as that team that day. And congratulations to Fairview state champs. We go to track and field. We've had some serious gold medals come in. There's nothing better than gold. That's what we're going to talk about today. It starts with Maplewood's standout, Kaylee Richards. Congratulations to the freshman sensation. She also was the reigning cross-country champion. She won the 3,200-meter race, killed her opponent by 4 seconds. Congratulations, Kaylee, for a job well done. What a start that is, George.
Yeah, that sounds like 4 straight to me.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about it, but that sounds like 4 straight.
Yeah, and usually in distance, these runners, they get it in their blood. They practice twice a day. They practice every day. They get their mileage in. They get their mileage up, and they're ready to go. Kaylee's going to be one of those great names we'll be talking about a long time. At McDonald, we also had a state champ, Ryan Henry, in the discus. Ryan throwing 170 feet. Also, we want to applaud Ryan, but he was part of also a team that finished second.
How about
in the
throwing
state?
2 feet longer, too?
Yeah.
Second place.
Yep. Didn't have to measure long.
They didn't measure.
Didn't have to measure long, no question. Also locally, the Valley Christian 4x100 relay team, state champ, running a 42.86. Congratulations to the 4 young men from Valley Christian. Congratulations to Canfield's Nick Plank, state title in 800 meters. Set a fitch and meet record in the regional. Came back and won in 1:49, nearly 2 seconds faster than second place. We had some.
Is that moving?
We had some people that we've had some people that are doing some great things around here with regards to how bad they're beating the best kids in the state. You know, when you're beating them by 4 seconds and 2 seconds, usually it's bang coming across.
It's sometimes they have to take a picture.
Oh yeah, they take pictures on all of them. No question. Yes. And then Chante Clink-Scale, what a tremendous runner she is. She grabbed first place in the 100 and the 200. Congratulations to Chante. And Beaver Locals, Caleb White, state champion in the 100-meter dash also. And we want to finish up by talking about somebody who did not win, but broke Oliver Kovas, broke the school record that held for 59 years at Canfield in the long jump. Congratulations to Oliver. In baseball, we had some awards that came across on the all-state teams. Congratulations to Ryan Petro, the pitcher who's put up a great year for Canfield. Josh Giuliano from Canfield. Giuliano, thank you. Congratulations to Josh. And Coach Gary Niddle from Canfield, Coach of the Year. In Division III, Brandon Mikos, South Range pitcher, and Trey Pancake, South Range catcher. Congratulations to all the awards today. George said, wow, what a local news we have today. It is. It's great news to have these.
We got 2 pages of people just killing it. But some of those things, man, when you win by 2 feet or 2 seconds,
Right.
against the best, there's one thing to win the dual meet
Right.
against somebody that's throwing somebody in there maybe that wouldn't normally. But when you're beating the best in the state.
Yeah, and Ohio is a state known for track and field.
Oh, my.
So we want to make sure to make that clear that you're just not winning Rhode Island, as George likes
No.
to say. And secondly, you have to do it that day. Some people say he's the best, she's the best. Well, that's why you have the match. That's why you have the state meet, because that day you can't pull muscle. That day you can't come in sick. That day you have to perform, and they did.
Pennsylvania had a rainy, cold day, and they had the jumps inside, and it really messed. A couple of them didn't even have the right shoes.
And that's why you got to do it. That's why you said you got to be ready.
Nobody's
to go.
right now asking who didn't.
Why? They're not asking why. Why didn't you win?
Who won?
Yeah, they just wonder who won.
These guys won.
Yeah, they won.
That's
yes.
all.
Yep.
Let's talk MLB with Star. We could just finish this the way we both feel about the slop we watch week after week on TV. But let's just look at it. Batting's at an all-time low. We know that. We could tell that by the 8 no-hitters by stinking Memorial.
Right.
Now, no-hitters galore. We know that's going on. All of a sudden, last week, they're videoing these pitchers, and they're coming out strong. Starting the first week in June, they're going to start nailing people that are cheating. Now, is it Vaseline in their hat? Is it on their shoulder? Is it, remember Phil Negro, he threw the thing up. Right. He had the nail foul.
Right.
But the bottom line is somebody has gotten word to the New York and saying these guys are cheating, it's blatant. They can't hit anyway.
Well, they're talking about the spin rate, which has become the top word in the pitching word, and I guess the spin rate really takes off when you put something on the ball. And Garrett Cole's the one they're looking at. That
kid from Baltimore too. They just lifted him out the other day with a shoulder. Means I guess he's on the list, but they said the last game Cole's spin was much off now that he knows he's being watched.
Exactly, and that's what happened. So
it makes you think he is cheating.
Yeah, and I believe he was.
Really?
Yeah, you can't lose that much spin
in 4 days.
In 4 days.
Okay. No, I'm listening.
Yeah. So that is data proof to me. That 10 games in a row he had this spin rate. And then when they came down on some minor leaguers and he knew they were coming into the major league to do it, his spin rate went completely down, way down. And so he was putting something, I don't know what it was, he was getting something on the ball.
But let's take a funny story. Back in the old days, they just spit in the ball. Mm-hmm. And they said to Hank Aaron once, they said, well, man, how do you hit that spitter? He says, I hit the dry side. It didn't seem to bother old Hammer and Hank.
Yeah, that was one of the things that, because I'm an old timer, and I get that, and I stand up for the old timers all the time. These balls were legal. They would take some out to the mound and put it on the ball right in front of the batter. And they make the ball do tricks when it came in, but they don't talk. But now they talk about velocity. Let's see them try to hit a ball that comes in like this and dives at the end of it. By putting emery on it,
yeah,
they put grease on it.
Well,
it was legal.
You young guys, Google Phil Negro. He had a nail file or a sandpaper in his back pocket, and he went like this to throw his hands up, like, "Why are you checking me?" And it fell out.
Yeah, he was a knuckleballer. He threw knuckleballs. So his nails had to be perfectly filed down. Yes.
But let's talk about it for a minute. You and I think it's not just cheating pitchers. It's that stinking down over the knob at 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say that is factual, except me watching the games.
You watch enough.
Yeah, we watch them all the time, and I watch baseball's my favorite, so I watch them all the time. I can understand 4 and 5, or now it's 2 and 3 because they've got their best hitter too.
Yeah.
But I can understand 2 and 3 on the end of the knob and going for home runs. I do. I understand Mike Trout doing it. But when I get to 6, 7, 8, and 9, guys that are hitting 200, 188, and they continually, guy on second and third, one out, swing and strike out because they're not trying to put the ball in play, it's a shame.
We have all kinds of Indian fans that watch us. Boudreaux one year, he hit 350, 45 homers, I believe, struck out 9 times.
That's never
these
happened.
Guys strike out 9 in a week.
Oh, every week.
Sanchez 4 in a game.
No, it's an automatic. They don't feel bad about it.
No. Talk about that. I remember walking home from the Little League. You might get down, and then you swung. You were not taking strike three. No. That was like a badge of honor.
Yeah, the agents are never bringing that into the realm of the negotiations. They're not coming in and saying he struck out 400 times. They're bringing it in as he had 32 home runs and
OPS.
And compared to the other people at that position, they average 23. No ERA or no batting average. They don't bring that into the negotiation at all.
No, I was talking about batting average with this buddy of mine. He said, "What are you?" I said, "I'm talking about they hit two."
Right.
So he said, "Batting average."
He laughed at you.
Like I had knickers on.
Yes.
I'm there. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry.
If I just have a feeling if I have a lineup of 8 guys on pitcher or 9 with the DH. And I have 7 of them hitting over 300.
I think you're winning.
There's a chance that I'm winning some games. Yeah. I really believe that.
Yeah. And let's talk about kind of the elephant in the room, the shift.
Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
I saw one the other day. So, the guy, perfect bunt situation. The Pirates aren't sure. Mattingly does bunt. So, finally, when the guy got 2 strikes, then the guy moved all the way over. He said, no, he's not bunting.
2 strikes, they're not bunting. No.
But how about slapping the ball?
No, they're not doing that either. So we could talk about this all the time. That's what my good friend says. Well, why do you keep bringing this up?
It makes my head hurt. No,
because they're not changing. He said, if you thought there was any thought of them changing.
No, wait. Let's defend ourselves. If they're hitting 310, I'm shutting up. Like the guys in 138 batting 8th, like Smoltz says, and you can learn some baseball listening to Smoltz. He said, I get why Eddie Matthews, Henry Aaron, Joe Adams,
right.
He said, but our 8-hitter was pushing guys along.
Yeah, that's what they're paid money to do.
Yeah,
they made money doing that. Nobody's making so you heard me say it's a money thing. They're not doing it because they're not paid to make an out. They're not going to say I'm going to ground ball to shortstop, ground ball to second, move them over.
Now also, you and I, we've been onto this for a lot. You can't win the pennant in April.
You could lose it though.
Ask the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
Al and I, we're going to try to get that looked at so when they're ahead after 6, they can get a half a point. Like in hockey, when you go overtime. Albert, first of all, points up what we've said on here forever. Bullpen. And number 2, how could you have a team like that, have all this promise, and go into the year and know by June 1st, you're out of it?
Yeah, they are out of it. No question about it. At least in our eyes, they are. No. And their bullpen stinks, and they went out and got young players who they based it on potential, and I hate that word in baseball too. They got rid of some guys that had good batting averages, had good years. Let them walk, and they said we got young players to replace them. They're not doing the job, so now you got a bad bullpen, bad young players. That's the record you have.
You've done it. He just opened that door for that beady-eyed La Russa to sneak in there his first year.
He's getting it.
And he knew what he was taking over.
We said that in our pre Major League Baseball.
We gave
White Sox. We said we're going to be outstanding. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now let's talk about the women. It's a great game. I just started watching. The tournaments are going on simultaneously. The women and the men. Women a little further along. The athletes, the arms, the speed, the catches they make. Honest to God, I love that game. And what I like about it.
You've always liked it.
Strike. There's none of these 5-hour nonsense.
Yeah, you've liked it. Umpires like it too. That's why they umpire these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because the pitchers throw strikes, pitchers are very difficult to hit. When you get a high-scoring game, that's unusual when you get to this time of year because of the great pitchers. And beside the pitching, you see athletes all over the field now. Girls are really taking this sport up and really becoming good at it.
Let's talk about it a little bit, too. It's so much different than baseball for the obvious reason. One stud pitcher. What happened the other night, the girls, they were complaining. One game started at midnight, and they said, you'd never do this to the boys. Next thing you know, the games are postponed. They're playing today. It gives James Madison an extra day with that star pitcher they have. But my question to you is, could it be much more different? The guys, you better pow 8, 9, 10, 11 pitchers. They play doubleheaders on weekends. The girls, that one girl, she's out there. Oh, my buddy, you'll like this story. He's at travel ball the other day. He's over in Campville in 8th, 9th grade or whatever, and he runs into this pitcher that they couldn't even touch. I said, get used to that. I said, they have them around this area. Paul would get wherever. They're always around here. I said, so get used to it. But it just tells you, like, when you think you're pretty good, what's out there. These girls, and then first of all they're on top of you. Secondly, they're throwing drops or throwing up shoots.
Oh, they do everything with the ball.
I don't know how they hit it at all. Then I see this girl for Oklahoma the other day poke 2 out, and she wasn't a big woman.
That's why you said Oklahoma, though. Top. It's like Alabama football.
Absolutely.
You know, when the best players.
And they don't just recruit Oklahoma.
Yeah, no.
That's what I noticed.
That's nationwide.
On the hometown.
Nationwide.
Yeah, because I remember one day I was after our radio show. I went to get something to eat. It was BC and Clemson, ACC. Didn't even look like the same game. Clemson's
not the same
just loaded. They got a girl just firing them in there. At BC, I looked and I thought, they got some work to do.
And
I'll be kind.
And then I'll add to that, when Clemson plays Oklahoma,
Yep.
it doesn't look like the same game.
No.
Yeah, it's the resources. Oklahoma girls softball is thought of as like Alabama football.
Yeah.
If you want a girl,
Duke basketball,
if you want a girl in Florida, go get it. If you want a girl in California, you want a girl in Minnesota.
That's what we
They
want.
recruit national. They recruit nationally. Yeah, no question about it.
Softball, the mound proximity. Like they'll show the pitch at 66, but you have to multiply that out to what it would
And
be.
they moved it back a little bit, but that's still the pitcher still
Didn't seem to
dominates.
matter.
Still pitcher.
My buddy was umping. I asked him, and when they did it, he said it didn't seem to.
Didn't affect it.
He didn't seem to notice.
Right.
But I'm amazed at the arms on the infielder, and in the infielder, I will say the nationwide recruiting stuck out. It's no longer like Penn State. You know, you have all PA girls, and you can, but you're not going to win.
Right, you're not winning.
No, you're not winning at all. NBA, they couldn't have, in my mind, because I watched it because of the pandemic. I had never watched NBA basketball, just never cared for it. Well, when there was nothing else on, I started watching. Now I started kind of in a, I call it a rut, really, to be honest. But anyhow, the series in the East, when you get Brooklyn and Milwaukee, those are two, that could be a final.
It could have been.
And in the other one, see, if you slept on Atlanta, you got what you got. All of a sudden, you don't have the home floor. Doc Rivers, if you fell asleep on him, you better set the alarm.
Yeah, and when they're playing the Final Eight, you're supposed to be there. That's what's supposed to happen in the NBA. You're supposed to be.
But don't they think the West is better by reputation?
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah,
of course, the Lakers are going.
But not now. There's not only because of the
But where
Nets.
the Lakers going?
If the Nets weren't there, the West is still better.
Okay, but the Lakers are going too.
Yeah, but the West is still. It's always been better.
Let's talk about Brooklyn first, though. I'm watching the game. 1 minute in, Harden he's going. I'm like, they're done.
Never thinking they're done. No. You thought different than me. I never think that. Never. When you got Irving and Durant playing the same team, and they brought Griffith in.
Hey, Irving might think the earth's flat, but that doesn't hurt him on the floor.
No.
Gee.
Yeah, so it's a joke. You know, we have to cover it because we're on a show. But the NBA just stands for joke to me. It's the biggest joke. You either put a team together or you sit your best player out all year to leave them ready for the playoffs. And if that's what I coached for 30 years, I'm going to throw up. And that's the claw for Clippers. He doesn't play. He plays 20
Every other
games
game.
all year, and then he says, okay, now I'll start playing in the playoffs.
And then there are these silent stars. We've already come across Booker. No longer is he. My guy is Joe Harris for Brooklyn. Because of the way they play, you're forced to leave him open.
Yeah, he's a shooter, and he's a shooter.
He's a shooting machine.
But I see them on every team. I mean, I see me and Joe Harris's. You don't see Durant's.
But
you don't see Irving's.
No, Durant's different. You can't guard him with one guy.
Like Joe Harris, he's on Atlanta. He'd say that's Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich doesn't say anything about Atlanta. He's a dead eye.
And he gets them because you can't start the ball.
Yeah, it's a dead eye. So
Yeah,
it's
so
the NBA,
different.
but it stands for everything I hate in sports. I mean, everything. And I'll give George credit. He watches it.
I watch it all that. I feel like I'm not like the Mad Dog. He'll say he didn't see a game, and then he'll start into tearing it down.
I see it. I watch one on YouTube and watch the recaps. I will watch.
Hey, how about the young stars, Jokic and Doncic?
Are they winning anything?
Forward?
Are they winning anything?
Well,
yet?
Jokic is still playing. Doncic.
Yeah, but Doncic is out. See, that's what I'm saying. If I want teams to win. Because I know how good Doncic is. He's tremendous, but he has the ball every second of every play.
No, he is
No, every second of every play.
And he's 6'7", 6'8" out there at the top. It doesn't even look right.
And I don't want to watch it when I see nobody. So we made fun of the Houston coach.
Yeah.
They all
now everybody plays.
No, they all play that way. They stand two in the corner.
Yep.
Either one of the wings, and then they run the center up.
High pick.
And then they go from there.
Now let me say this. I will say this. Getting these open looks and such is very difficult. Obviously, the guy scored 45, 46, 47. But if I had to have one guy, I want a guy who can play both ends. That leads me to Kawhi.
Yeah, no question. And that's why I hate it. He don't play. He doesn't play all year, and then he says he shows up for the playoffs and dominates. I mean, he's a dominating player.
Yeah.
But I don't want a player that plays 20 games or 30 games. I want my best player.
Now, how about Embiid? He tears a meniscus. I've had one on each knee, so I'm not.
You know about it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he's playing. Although he did have 38, he played rather well.
Oh my gosh, he was dominant.
Sixers, the foul shooting.
But they've done it all year, so it is a surprise. See,
But does it drive? Does it? They always say the freak's a hard worker,
right.
hard worker, and they say Simmons. They'll show video of him.
They're both hard workers. They just don't shoot free throws well at all.
But do you think that by now they should have? Like, I can't understand the freak can't shoot better than 60-something%.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
And Simmons, I won't watch.
Right.
Because I don't know if he knows if he's right or left-handed.
I
had a guy like him once. I told you, and I'm convinced he didn't know which hand he was.
Yeah, I don't think he knows either.
No, I think you're right. NFL, huge off-season deal. We knew it was coming. Somebody told me last week, Tennessee, they were a little ahead of me. But that's where they end up. Julio goes to Tennessee, and all of a sudden you got the monster back there.
Yeah, you got Brown and him and Henry.
Now what?
And they'll have to win on the other side of the ball because their offenses don't score on anybody anyway. And so it wasn't like they didn't have an offense in place. Brown recruited them. That's what's happened. That's big in today's world, that players recruit players. That didn't go on as much before.
No, they hated each other. No, when the Steelers played, the Browns were going to be a fight.
They hated the other team.
Now the next night they're together down at the strip club having parties. No, it's
so Tennessee receivers. Said,
I blame the agents for that too, by the way.
Yeah, we need you here.
Yeah.
And so when he heard this, I might look into that, and that's where he ends up. Tennessee. Be interested if he stays healthy. Because all really good.
He has history.
He hurt all the time.
Okay.
He's hurt all the time.
And he's an older man.
He's a tremendous player.
Oh no, we know.
Player, yes.
We know how good. Does that make them a favorite ahead of
No, not at all.
They're not Kansas City.
No.
They're not Baltimore?
No.
Okay. I think they're Baltimore.
No. Oh, no. Baltimore they can beat. No. Yeah. Baltimore's not one. Kansas City's the team. No question.
Now, the story of the offseason has happened as days of our lives. It's a soap opera out there, Rogers, and the president or whomever wrote the guy, Mark Murphy, had played for him. He wrote a letter to the fans there today saying, this thing is tearing up. Because the fans are now, a lot of them siding with Rogers, a lot of them are saying, hey, pal, get to work.
Yeah, what is the siding? They've said who's siding with who?
No, they
is
said
it down in the middle? Or
yeah. It's,
okay.
In other words, there are a lot of people that just love him.
Right.
And there are a lot of people, they're blue collar.
Right.
The fans own the team there.
Yeah, I know they do.
And they basically said, hey, pal, go to work.
Yeah, what George said there was one of the key statements of the day. Green Bay is different. Their shareholders own the.
He can't go into Kraft and buddy him up like Tom Brady did.
Yes.
Get rid of Garoppolo.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to play in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought about 2 weeks. See, that's interesting. Because 2 weeks ago you told me no.
Yeah.
So I think about how that's changed already. You said he's going to be in.
Denver. I said Denver. I wanted to play Denver.
I
wanted to play Denver. I looked at their over/under. I thought they knew he was there. It was 8. What are they doing with 7.5, 8?
So you don't think he's leaving now?
But
okay.
Here's why. More time went by. June 1st was the date.
Gotcha.
I thought, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But when he didn't go, I bet there's some behind the scenes.
Well, there's some stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Kansas City football. We've had so many coaches we've talked to. It's ridiculous. NIL around the corner, name, image, likeness. Okay. Bottom line is, I'm saying to you, 1,600 in the portal this year. I'm saying next year, I'll use the capital D word, disaster.
Well, I know they don't know what's coming. They can't figure it out. They're studying it. And they have their assistant coaches are spending hour upon hour trying to get into it. They don't know. They know just as much as we know. They're hoping they guess right. They're hoping that some of their guys leave, but Georgia's going to be crazy, no question.
Yeah. 1,600 in there. Surely they're not all going to find a happy medium.
They're not. They can't.
And then how about the next year when you have all the kids coming from high school?
Right.
And they say, okay, now we're back to our numbers.
Yeah, those are the ones who are getting messed with. The high school kids.
I agree. I agree. And then you get a guy like Jeff Capel at Pitt. He doesn't have 5 years to build
So you can't take high
school
school kids.
team.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
So this really helps him. This helps guys. It helps guys on that.
He better get them.
You have to go out and just get every best player you can of every other
every
team.
hombre you can find and worry about the chemistry nonsense later.
I agree.
How about the other day I'm watching? There's a second-team All-American at Marshall. Now, what would he have to be disgruntled about? Florida State. Week later, Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's going to happen so many places, so many times. It's going to happen.
That would make them change?
I have no idea.
Tells you it's open season.
It
right?
is. It's just open. Totally.
Good word. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Now, NCAA hoops. If you got his arm and put it behind his back, Roy Williams, and K2, Coach Krzyzewski, you said, all right, tell us the truth. Why'd you leave? I guarantee this name, image, likeness, and this ridiculous amount of kids quitting it the first time their eyelashes don't feel right. I guarantee they'd tell you that was it.
Yeah, Roy Williams, I'm guaranteeing that one. Coach K has been doing it so long with one and dones. I don't think it affects him as much, but I know it does with Roy.
How about the farewell tour with K? Why a farewell tour, yet Roy just went into the sunset?
Yeah, I don't understand either. I don't know why. Maybe he had to wait, make sure that his guy got the guy who wanted got the job. Yes.
Okay, so you think that's it? All right, I have some miscellaneous items. We only have a few minutes left. I know one thing. I don't know who's winning the Derby next year, but I know Baffert is. Do you know that for sure?
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, 2-year vacation for cheating.
We had a really top-notch guy involved in horse racing on, and it seemed like it didn't affect him a bit. And to George and I can't understand somebody just out and out cheating.
Yeah. Hey, how about this though? Would you like to own that horse and give back the $1.8 million?
I know.
For the Derby. You don't think he's happy with it?
He's not happy, no.
No, I got to say.
Yes.
Second sample was tainted too, which I would have expected. The first sample.
How's the first sample? How's that change?
I have no
what do they
idea.
do different? You have any idea?
I know.
Why is second sample worse than the first sample?
Yeah, it would be no different.
Yeah, I don't know
The favorite one, Belmont. It happens from time to time. We watched it. I didn't see anything spectacular there. $21 trifecta tells you that was the wrong race to play.
Yeah, I watched the replay of the race, and the best horse won. And you know that coming in, that's what the program said. That's what the form said, and he came in and won. Yeah.
The young guns in the NBA, we talked about Booker's 47. Seems like Chris Paul has him just pushing him just enough. He's exerting himself, and he's a super. Is he a superstar yet?
Not yet.
What's he got to do?
Give me about 5 years of this.
5 years,
Yeah.
or get to the finals and whatever.
5 years of playing.
Okay, how about the eyebrow? Hurt again. This is all the time now. He doesn't play during the year. This doesn't seem to be an aberration.
So sad that a guy with that much talent is always hurt. Always hurt.
Okay.
So sad.
LeBron, we got to get after him. He walked off the floor again before the game was over. Come on, LeBron. Bad look.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it. It seems like everything is money for you. If it means money to you, you stay on the floor. If it doesn't mean money to you, you walk.
Yeah, but he did trade jerseys with Booker, which, I'm one of these guys. Al's like a little angel there. I got that little devil. I'm thinking he's got an ulterior motive for Booker. The minute he was done, he mentioned how he was hurt in Space Jam 2.
Yes.
Always pushing product. You know what I mean? Mayweather and Paul, what happened, short version now. Mayweather, who's almost 50, he was fighting a YouTube character, and the kid went the whole 8 rounds, and they're making a big deal about it. The guy's 190 pounds. Mayweather's punching him at 150. But, hey, real quick, the Portland coach got fired. Obviously, somebody thought he should do better than we did. We thought he did okay.
Made the playoffs.
Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.